Hello and welcome to Harvard Stadium in Boston, Massachusetts for tonight's NWSL matchup between visiting FC Kansas City and the Boston Breakers. Alongside former Breaker Catherine Donnelly, I'm Scott Sudikoff, and we welcome you to the stadium for tonight's matchup between Kansas City and Boston. The Breakers come in at 1-5-0 on the year, last in action this past Sunday, a week from today. They fell to Chicago for the second consecutive time by a final score of 4-1. Meanwhile, FCKC comes in at 3-4-3. They had a midweek matchup with Seattle on Wednesday, a 1-1 draw. In fact, they have tied their last two games in a row. Kansas City comes in currently fourth place with 12 points, while the Breakers down in last place with just the 3 points on the season. Taking a look at the players to watch in this one, we look at the FC Kansas City side, and it's a prolific goal scorer in Amy Rodriguez.
Yeah, we definitely want to keep an eye out on number 8, Amy Rodriguez. She's a former Breaker herself. She scored her 7th goal on Wednesday night in their 1-1 tie with Seattle. She now is tied for the most goals in the league, which she almost accounts for half the goals on the team just herself, and she also leads the league with 21 shots on goal. So the Breakers definitely need to keep an eye on her all game long.
You mentioned Rodriguez, 7 goals, tied for the league lead, 7 of 16 goals scored this year for FCKC. And for the Breakers, we want to spotlight the goalkeeper, Alyssa Nair. She may be giving up a few goals, in fact, just the most goals so far on the season, but really she's doing all she can to keep her team in games this season.
Yeah, and even last game, a 4-1 loss, the scoreboard probably doesn't really reflect her play. She had 10 saves on the game, and she even leads the league with 32 saves in her 6th game. So she's definitely been keeping the Breakers in some games despite the lack of wins, but she's doing pretty well so far.
She's looking for a little more help from her defense and
definitely.
from her offense as well, with 2.67 goals against average right now for Alyssa Nair, but leads the league with the 32 saves on the year. So FC Kansas City and Boston set to match up for the first and only time in Boston this year. They'll play 2 games in Kansas later on in the year. FC Kansas City and the Boston Breakers coming up next. We'll have the starting lineups and the opening kickoff live from Harvard Stadium. Boston Breakers Soccer is brought to you by Steward Health, the title sponsor of the Boston Breakers. Visit steward.org for more information. By Cat Sports Performance Center, the official performance training provider of the Breakers. Visit catsports.com for more info. By TCG Network Services, the official IT service provider of the Breakers. Check out tcgns.com for more. By Bertucci's, a proud partner and the official restaurant of the Boston Breakers. By We Got Soccer, the nation's largest soccer specialty store. Visit wegotsoccer.com for more info. By the University Sports Complex, the largest sports facility in all of New England. Visit uhanover.com for more info. By Minuteman Health, a health insurance company governed by you. Learn how to enroll at minutemanhealth.org. By the CIP Group, visit www.askcip.com. And by Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts. Visit rocklandtrust.com for more info. The NWSL is brought to you by the National Guard, by Nike, and by the U.S. Soccer Foundation. Welcome back to Harvard Stadium alongside Catherine Donnelly. I'm Scott Sudikoff. We thank you for tuning in. FC Kansas City and the Boston Breakers set to kick off in just a couple of moments. Let's run through the starting lineups. First for FC Kansas City. On defense, they have Becky Sauerbrunn, Leanne Robinson, and Nikki Phillips. Midfield, Jen Buskowski, Jenna Richmond, Merritt Mathias, and Erica Timrack. Forwards, Liz Bogus, Amy Rodriguez, and Lauren Holiday. And in goal, Nicole Barnhart, as she has now started all 11 games for FC Kansas City this season. For the Breakers defensively, with Kat Whitehill, Julie King, as well as Ashley Grove. Midfielders, with Heather O'Reilly, Joanna Lohman, Christy Mewis, and Nikki Washington. And the forwards, Leanne Sanderson, Katie Schepfer, and Molly Pathman. Although we wait to see how they come out aligned here today. We've seen a lot of changes in the Breakers' alignment as the season has gone on. As you take a look at Nicole Barnhart, 28 saves on the year, 1.60 goals against average as the game is underway here in Boston. Breakers in the all-blue, FC Kansas City in the all-white. About 60 degrees here at kickoff. The Breakers and FC Kansas City, the lone matchup in Boston this season. They'll match up at Kansas City coming up real soon, June the 7th, and then later on, August the 6th. That pass intercepted by Julie King. She lofts it down the near sideline for Heather O'Reilly. Volleys it ahead towards Katie Schepfer, but broken up by Kansas City. Buskowski will play it back. And Sanderson almost knocked that one away and almost had a run towards goal. Some contact there on the far side, but play continues as it goes back to Alyssa Nair as she makes her now 7th start on the season. A 2.67 goals against average, but does lead the league with 32 saves. Had the 10 saves last week in the 4-1 loss against Chicago. And we talked about her in the open, is she's really doing all she can to keep Boston in these games.
Yeah, she's done a pretty good job back there, and that was one of the keys, I think, for the Breakers that they need to work on tonight is just having their defense to be pretty solid, especially with Rodriguez and Holiday in there. So also looking to get their second win. They're also looking for their first shutouts. So let's see if they can get that tonight.
One of the problems for the Breakers, though, you're playing from behind a lot of times.
Right.
Your defense tends to break down later in games and give up a couple of extra goals here and there to make those numbers look a little bit worse than maybe they should be for Alyssa Nair.
That's definitely been a problem is their second half, the last 45 minutes of the game. The Breakers have given up 12 of their 16 goals in those 45 minutes. So I'm sure that's something that they've talked about and worked on in practice this week and hopefully translate into the game tonight. Kansas
City's even on the season, 16 goals scored, 16 allowed. As Mewis sends it into the box towards Sanderson, almost got her header on it.
There's Mewis in her 3rd game for the Breakers coming off of an injury, so she might be the spark that we've been talking about, hopefully.
Yeah, continuing to work her into the game. She's played 139 minutes in the first 2 games that she's played this season. Started the previous 2. Of course, a former FC Kansas City player of a year ago. Mewis started 20 games last year, had 1 goal, was the number 3 overall pick in last year's college draft. Sanderson's playing it into space. Schepfer going on the run there. Got her foot on it first, going up against Nikki Phillips. It'll be a goal kick for Nicole Barnhart. As you see Katie Schepfer making a 3rd start on the season, her 2nd consecutive. Kansas City, a 1-1 draw with Seattle on Wednesday, ending Seattle's 7-game winning streak to start the season. Amy Rodriguez scored in the 42nd minute. And then Kim Little on a penalty kick just a few minutes later tied it up. Those are your 2 leading scorers in the NWSL season, trading goals on Wednesday. You see Erica Timrack On your screen right now, the Rookie of the Year last season. This year has 3 goals and an assist. Buzzkowski will switch fields with it. And that one will go out of bounds as Merritt Mathias couldn't get to it in time. Quick throw in by Molly Pathman. Mewis battling 1-on-2, loses it.
Breakers are putting on some high early pressure here.
Forcing a turnover. Shepford trying to turn towards the box. Couldn't keep control of it.
They're coming out with some intensity, so they're looking to make a statement in the first few minutes here. Hopefully put one away and take it from there.
Joanna Lohman loses her footing against Lauren Holiday. Comes across the field. Trying a quick 1-2 there. They couldn't connect as Erica Timrak had trouble with the initial pass. FC Kansas City moving right to left on the attack. The pass into space from Jenna Richmond into the box. Nikki Washington will tap it towards her keeper. And Nair will clear it out.
So Washington's making a start as an outside back this game. She played their last game, but her first start for the Breakers this season, or her first few minutes with the Breakers this season, she actually came in as a forward.
Timrak. Her pass goes up over their head and tracking it down in the corner. Whitehill clears that out of the box. Now Lauren Holiday has it. Gave it to Rodriguez. Plays it outside now. Mathias going against Mewis on the edge of the box, getting help from Pathman. It'll be a corner kick for FC Kansas City, the first one of the night. FC Kansas City 3-4-3 on the year, coming off of 11-6-5 record last year. Talked about they had the Rookie of the Year, the Player of the Year, the Defensive Player of the Year.
Pretty much a clean sweep of all the awards last year.
That header goes wide of the post. So now Alyssa Nair will have the goal kick. Kansas City winless in 3 straight games, but mentioned last 2 have been ties.
Yep.
Breakers have lost 3 in a row after the 3-2 victory here against Sky Blue on April the 27th, the lone victory, lone points of the year for Boston. Buzzkowski with the pass, now gets it back. Jen Buzzkowski, 5'5", 29-year-old midfielder, has started all 11 games for Kansas City this year. Shepford gets it to Sanderson, quickly taps it for Mewis. Mewis trying to fight her way away from Jenna Richmond. Could not do so.
Probably should get that off a little quicker.
Had a lot of space there on that far sideline.
Yep.
It'll be a throw-in for Kansas City. As we are in the 8th minute. Breakers and FC Kansas City with no score. Here's Ashley Grove to Sanderson. Sanderson with a lot of space. Now gets it to Nikki Washington. Washington with the cross. Right at the 6, and it goes off the post. Katie Shepfer was there at the top of the 6 and redirected that one off of the post.
It's a great cross by Washington to drive that low into the box.
Breakers trying to keep the pressure on. Lauren Holiday played it back, and it goes out of bounds there. It'll be a throw-in for Nikki Phillips, who has also started all 11 games for Kansas City this year. Leanne Robinson actually will make the throw-in. Cross to the far side as Kansas City tries to break it out and move in on the attack. Buskowski turning away from the defense. Now off into space. Room for Kansas City to work. Amy Rodriguez loses her footing, falls down against Julie King. It'll be a goal kick. Rodriguez thinking maybe a little bit of extra contact from Julie King potentially there. Battle of number 8s. Rodriguez tied for the league lead with 7 goals on the year. Former breaker. U.S. national team player. 26 years old from Beverly Hills, California.
And she's not just a threat right in front of the box. She's a threat from pretty much anywhere. She scored a left-footed shot from 23 yards out last game. So she can shoot from the top of the box. She's there putting pressure on the goalie. So Breakers definitely need to keep an eye on her all game.
Liz Bogus trying to make a run up the sideline there. Had it knocked out. It'll be a throw-in for Kansas City. Coming into the game today, Heather O'Reilly was probable with an ankle sprain, but of course you see her out there on the field, and she's played every minute this season for Boston. Probable also was Nicole Barnhart with a right hip pointer, but of course she's in goal as well for FC Kansas City. Breakers on the counterattack, Joanna Lohman. A long pass down to plenty of space. Leanne Sanderson, though, cannot track it down.
Just kind of sends that into space. Not sure who she was really looking for there.
Liz Bogus trying to protect it there, but Boston gains the throw-in. Quickly in for Sanderson. Sanderson along the sideline, trying to spin away from trouble. Here comes Kansas City with quick passing, but that one was way off target, and Nikki Washington plays it back for her keeper, Nair. Washington looks for Sanderson. O'Reilly can't track it down. Pass goes from Richmond ahead to Lauren Holiday. Holiday plays it outside now. Quick touch there, but Holiday couldn't get there. Played back. Buskowski quickly now for Richmond. Gets it away before the double team comes. Whitehill with the header. Ball bounces back and forth a few times here. And it comes out for the Breakers. Schepfer. She loses control of it. Kansas City right back in control. Erica Timrack down the middle of the field. Plays it through. But she had her teammate going the other way there. As that was Amy Rodriguez heading out wide. That pass went up the middle. Very easy play for Nair. Washington to throw in and just barely stayed in bounds for the moment there, and now
she loses her shoe.
Leanne Sanderson loses her left cleat.
What a great teammate in O'Reilly there.
Breakers still with the possession. Nikki Washington playing in her 3rd game for Boston, as you see Leanne Sanderson getting that shoe back on. Washington, 3 games now, 2 consecutive starts after being acquired from Houston. Her 2nd stint with Boston. Sanderson, the back heel. Schepfer couldn't track it down at the top of the box. And this is Amy Rodriguez. She'll use her defense, play it back. Mewis takes the turnover. Middle of the field for Grove. Now back for Julie King. Plays it near side, Nikki Washington. Gets it deflected by Erica Timrack, but the Breakers stay in control of it. King, a long pass. Anderson was there on the other end of it. Was broken up by Becky Sauerbrunn. And now a whistle and a foul. Haven't had many. That may be the first. Going on Boston there. Timrack. Here comes FC Kansas City. Rodriguez plays it out wide at the edge of the box. Liz Bogus keeps it in. Coming out to get her defensively, Pathman. Now in the box, Holiday, and it deflected off of a Breaker's foot there.
King.
Julie King getting over there just in time as Lauren Holiday was coming straight in on Alyssa Nair.
And here they come again.
Bogus crosses it. Nobody home for Kansas City, and that will trickle out of bounds on the other side.
Nice job by Shepard there to get it forward.
Back there is Nikki Phillips. Lofted up and out of bounds. Throw in on the far side for Boston in the 17th minute. No score. Boston and Kansas City. We thank you for tuning in. Alongside former Boston Breaker Catherine Donnelly, I'm Scott Sudikoff. Hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day weekend. Breakers looking for their second win of the season. FC Kansas City trying to get back to a 500 record right now, 3-4-3. First of three matchups between these two teams on the year. The only one, though, in Boston. Sanderson. The pass intercepted by Phillips. FCKC trying to go on the counterattack. The long pass into the box will bounce for Nair. Too far out in front of Rodriguez. Now Nikki Washington up the near sideline. Plays it along for Sanderson. Trying to tap it for O'Reilly, who was making a run there.
A little bit of miscommunication.
And FCKC takes back control. Jenna Richmond. Inside the center circle. Bazkowski. Pass taken away by Lohman. Scheffer, a quick one-touch to Mewis. And now back for Julie King. And that pass goes out. Here's Leanne Robinson, who's started all 11 games, played every single minute so far for Kansas City. Alyssa Nair will pick it up as we play into the 19th minute. Second ball comes down to Mewis. Header forward. Still up in the air, up for grabs, and a foul will be called on Kansas City.
That'll be the first Breakers free kick of the game.
I believe that's just one foul apiece now. So far a clean matchup.
A little different from last matchup against Chicago where there's cards everywhere.
Leanne Sanderson up there with Joanna Lohman. It'll be Sanderson to take the free kick. Sends it into the box. Gets headed up into the air and now out.
We have Whitehill up there.
Now Kat Whitehill gets to it first for the Breakers, trying to set up a cross opportunity. Goes out of bounds off of Kansas City, so Whitehill will quickly throw it back in. Loose inside the box, cleared back out. King sends it back towards the top. Mewis. And it comes all the way back out. Ashley Grove. Now Nikki Washington. Washington keeps it herself. Now gets it to Whitehill, still up there. Lauren Holiday will feed it back. Now back ahead for Jenna Richmond. Richmond slides it along the near side. To the near side as Leanne Robinson has it knocked out by Heather O'Reilly. FCKC throw in right at midfield. It bounces in for Erica Timrack. Timrack with some space in front of her.
And some speed.
Breakers defense stands tall, plays it out of trouble for the time being. As this is Richmond. And that pass is out of the reach of its intended target, Merritt Mathias.
That's that early pressure from the Breakers that caused that to go out of bounds there.
Good step up by Lohman to break that up. Schepfer's pass. Lohman steps up again to help play it forward. Now a race for the ball, and being forced to clear it out of bounds is Merritt Mathias. So it'll be a Breakers throw-in on the far side of the field. Sanderson gets it into Pathman. Tap from Mewis to Sanderson. Sanderson serves it into the box. And the play there by Barnhart as Heather O'Reilly was inching towards the 6 there, trying to get something on it. Here comes Kansas City. Leanne Robinson bumps into Washington, keeps control of it, continues on the run. Rodriguez, pass to Holiday. Holiday to that far corner of the box, but it goes up over the head of Liz Bogus and out of bounds. Best scoring opportunity so far on this one has to be given to the Boston side. The one off the post.
Yep.
Katie Schepfer. Alyssa Nair with 10 saves last week against Chicago. A league high 32 saves on the year. Breakers just 1-5-0. They can't look at the goalkeeping play as the issue so far. As Sanderson will go off to the race there. And it bounces in the favor of Kansas City.
She misjudged that bounce. That was
Washington makes a run and picks up the pass. Nikki Washington crosses it, and nobody there on the far side. Amy Rodriguez gets it to Timrak. Kansas City already playing in its 11th game of the year. Meanwhile, for the Breakers, this is the 7th game, so a lot more action for FC Kansas City so far on the year. They'll actually have a bye week finally.
Yep.
Have a little bit of a rest. A lot of action for them early in this year. As Phillips sends it across the field. Good step up by Molly Pathman. Gets it to Sanderson. Again, though, Kansas City able to win the race to the ball, and Barnhart will clear it out. Lohman controls it along to Mewis. She'll switch sides with it to Nikki Washington. Washington with plenty of space and good speed. Trying to play it out wide. It'll be a Kansas City throw-in. Leanne Robinson. Jenna Richmond. Gave it up back for Phillips. And again, stepping up, intercepting it, Molly Pathman.
Nice step up there.
Pathman with the cross. Sanderson trying to settle it down. It comes out. Headed by Grove. Now Kansas City again looking to go back on the counterattack. Timrak quickly to Rodriguez. Rodriguez now makes a run. No pass open.
Kansas City doing a great job right now of being strong on defense and then countering quickly right after that.
Buskowski's past the Holiday, taken away by Julie King. Sanderson for Mewis. Left-footed pass to Sanderson. She gets a step. Sanderson looking for an open shot opportunity. Makes the pass to Schepfer. Schepfer can't get anything off. Still fighting for it inside the box. Deflects to Sanderson. Schepfer, the shot goes off the hand and over the crossbar. I think that went off the hand of Barnhart, up over the crossbar, and should be a corner kick for Boston.
Her teammates giving her a high five. That was a great save.
Breakers, though, fighting hard for that opportunity. Both teams playing strong there. And Barnhart with the save. Corner kick for the Breakers. Leanne Sanderson taking it. Normally we see Heather O'Reilly.
Looks like we have an injury on Kansas City first.
Do have a Kansas City player down on one knee. Take a look at the save. Gets that right hand on it.
Don't forget, she had a hip injury coming to this game, too.
Nicole Barnhart,
yeah.
Correct. And I believe that's Liz Bogus down. So she gets checked out on the field right now in the 28th minute. Play stop for a little while here. The Breakers will have a corner kick off of that fantastic save by Barnhart. That is Bogus getting back up to her feet. The 30-year-old from Utah. She's playing in her 8th game of the year. Has made 6 starts, 1 goal, 1 assist. She will come off the field right now, and we'll see if she'll be re-entering as soon as she can. Sanderson on the corner kick. It gets all the way through. Whitehill keeping it alive. The header is good! Julie King, no, wave it off. Was the offside flag up? Couldn't see.
They might have said it was actually out of bounds and came back in.
All right.
I'm assuming.
We're looking to get a signal on that.
Yeah.
Not sure it was offside or
no,
just out of bounds.
I think the ball went out of bounds and came back in. Either way, great effort by King there.
So the Breakers put one in the back of the net. Does not count. Play continues. See the numbers on Nicole Barnhart after she made that great save a few moments ago. Throw in for Boston. Still, though, if you're the Breakers, have to at least like the offensive chances that they put together here today. That would have been Julie King's second career goal.
She scored her first professional goal earlier this season Off of a corner kick, too, actually.
That left-footed shot, easy for Nair to gobble up. I was going to say, if Whitehill was able to keep that one in and make that play, that would have been, that was destined to be a spectacular goal, but just not able to keep it inbounds along the end line. Jenna Richmond plays it to the near side. And Robinson will serve it down the sideline, letting her teammate run after it. Lauren Holiday wins it from Washington. Holiday gets it to Timrack, back to Holiday. Cleared out from the top of the box. And now Sanderson on the race. Can't win it, though. As Becky Sauerbrunn, the NWSL Defender of the Year last year, plays it out to the far side. Miscue on the pass. Ashley Grove for Heather O'Reilly. Taps it to Sanderson. Now near side, Nikki Washington. Breakers will set things up, play it back for King. 31st minute, no score. The Breakers have certainly had the better of the offensive chances so far. O'Reilly's pass. Sheffer couldn't get there.
The Breakers have definitely had more of the dangerous chances so far in the game, but I think a bulk of the possession has actually been in favor of Kansas City so far.
And we're getting word that Liz Bogus has left the game. And we believe that number 10, Frances Silva, has come on for her. Not sure, of course, what the injury for Bogus was on the field, but she's come out of the game, and Frances Silva is on the field playing in her 10th game of the year. So that's one substitution already used for FCKC as Nikki Washington gives it to Julie King.
And the Breakers go all the way back to Nair. King looking to go forward, but doesn't see anyone, so she goes back to Whitehill and back to Nair again.
Breakers waiting for their opportunities. Maybe not forcing it as much as they had the last couple of games. Buskowski plays it back for Barnhart. Boston in the midst of a 5-game homestand, 0-2 so far. Portland this coming Wednesday. And then Washington a week from today before they go to play at Kansas City and then come back home for 2 more. 7 of 9 at home for the Breakers, but so far 0-2. Heather O'Reilly, left-footed shot, got blocked down.
Great initial pass by Mewis there.
Frances Silva with the ball. The substitution for Bogus against Molly Pathman. Pathman with the slide tackle, steals it away.
It's a great tackle, great clean tackle there.
Mewis, left foot, serves it ahead. Bouncing to the near side. Shepford was on the race against Lauren Holiday. Excuse me, Leanne Robinson. 13, not 12. Merritt Mathias, a long run on the sideline, wins the throw-in. Mathias looking to serve it into the box. Out top. Buskowski along with Timrack, taken away by Lohman. Shepford have O'Reilly coming up on the near side. Heather O'Reilly had the penalty kick goal, the lone goal for Boston last Sunday against Chicago. Washington gives it out towards Sanderson, just seeing if she can win there, and This gets tapped out by Kansas City, so the Breakers will get the throw in. "34 minutes in, no score. Nicole Barnhart has the biggest save so far of the game. Got a right hand on a pass, on a shot, excuse me, and deflected up over the crossbar. And the Breakers did put one in the back of the net after the ensuing corner kick, but the play was blown dead, ruled out of bounds before Julie King had headed it in.
Great one-touch passing here by the Breakers.
O'Reilly
on offense
against Robinson, but
out of bounds.
Goal kick for Barnhart. Scott Sudikoff and Catherine Donnelly were at Harvard Stadium in Boston, Massachusetts. Breakers and FC Kansas City. Breakers trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, 1-5-0 on the year. FC Kansas City trying to snap a 3-game winless streak, a loss and 2 straight ties so far on that stretch for FCKC. At 3-4-3 overall, currently in 4th place with the 12 points, so still in early season. Still in very good position after an 11-6-5 record last year. Breakers were 8-8-6 in 2013, finishing in 5th place, just out of the playoffs. Erica Timrack, one of the main reasons FCKC won 11 games last year, was the Rookie of the Year. Buzzkowski sends it off to the far side. Merritt Mathias now will make the throw in. Bounces it quickly in for Silva.
She's onside.
Mathias. Her cross got blocked down by Whitehill. Mathias gets it back, trying to serve it back in there, headed out. And now the left-footed shot and a save by Nair. The shot by Buzzkowski.
She was wide open up top there.
And Nair makes her first big save of the night.
Definitely keeps the Breakers in the game now.
KC continue to keep the pressure on right now. We'll try to at least. And that should be a corner. It is. It'll be the second corner kick of the night for Kansas City. Take a look at the save by Nair. Had a dive to her left.
Left foot kick here.
Lauren Holiday.
In swinger.
At that far post from where the corner kick was taken in.
It'll be another corner kick on the other side.
So now they come along to the near side here for the corner. Lauren Holiday will now take it again from this near side. The header is off the crossbar. Bounces at the top of the 6 and cleared out. The Breakers get a little bit of luck from the crossbar now. Barnhart comes
way out
there to play it, but she knew she had enough time and enough space to make that play, and a foul will be called on Joanna Lohman, battling Lauren Holiday. So each team has now
hit
a post or a crossbar. Yeah. And each goalie has made
pretty nice save.
So the chances now evening out. Nair had the save and then the crossbar help on that last trip down the field. Jenna Richmond with the free kick. Misconnection there will lead to an Alyssa Nair goal kick. Breakers will host Portland on a Wednesday, a 7 o'clock kickoff. Portland at 4-2-2 on the season, currently in 3rd place. The defending NWSL champions. Buzzkowski gets it to Richmond. Richmond, good play defensively by Washington as that pass was headed out towards the box. Had an open FCKC player waiting for it.
Good read by King there.
O'Reilly settles it down. Gets the pass to Grove. Back to Washington. King with the pressure coming. Gets rid of it. Headed by Richmond. Silva trying to get it back towards the middle of the field to Holiday. Now Sanderson out to Pathman. Whitehill serves it down the field. Shepfer with the header to O'Reilly. Now Sanderson with some space. Sanderson chips it into the box, but Shepfer can't get there. Barnhart grabs it.
Good little combination there, though. Nice effort by the Breakers.
Almost 40 minutes in with the 0-0 score. Robinson with Washington coming at her, gives up the pass to Buzzkowski. Becky Sauerbrunn. Now Matthias. Matthias on the sideline there with Silva. Turnover. Leanne Sanderson has Shepfer, a 2-on-2 potentially, and a good step up and knock away. Expect no less from Becky Sauerbrunn. And just a complete miscommunication between Silva and Buzzkowski. Leads to a Breakers throw-in. Timrak chipped it ahead and went off Rodriguez. Silva gains control of the shot from outside the box, blocked down by Whitehill. The long rebound comes back out for Kansas City. Timrak gave it back. Loose at the top of the box. Washington gets it along to Shepfer. Shepfer, Sanderson onside against Sauerbrunn. Sauerbrunn, though, able to win that battle again. Whitehill and King play a game of pass there, back and forth. Now King gives it up to Whitehill. Whitehill trying to angle it towards the sideline, knocked down by Silva. Silva gets the pass back, gets by Whitehill. Silva plays it through Holiday, and coming out, making the sliding play is Alyssa Nair.
Last few minutes of the first half, last thing the Breakers want to do is give up an easy one here.
Seen that on a couple occasions. The Breakers have given up goals in the final minutes of halves, the first half specifically. Second ball, and Kansas City, Silva. In the 43rd minute. Kansas City has hit a crossbar, been stopped on a good shot, a good save by Alyssa Nair. The Breakers have hit a post and been robbed by Nicole Barnhart. As that one will go out of bounds. Goal kick for Nair.
And there are the drums again.
They take a few minutes off here and there. Can't blame them. It's hard to be drumming the entire time. Give them that. Matthias gets it to Richmond. Sanderson coming from behind, trying to knock it away. Leanne Robinson. Now Lauren Holiday. Holiday angling back towards the center of the field. Plays it out wide for Matthias. Left-footed pass to Rodriguez, trying to turn against Whitehill. Got some help from Lohman. And Molly Pathman with a left foot boot to clear it out. Left foot boot. Sorry about that. 45th minute of the first half. Leanne Robinson angles her way by Mewis. Should have a couple of minutes of extra time. Had the injury, Liz Bogus, who came out of the game. Francis Silva plays it out wide to Timrak at the edge of the box. Timrak looking for a cross. Got deflected out to the top. Final seconds of the regulation period of this first half. Now into stoppage time as Leanne Sanderson with Schepfer. About a 2-on-5 right now.
Yeah.
Schepfer enters the box. At that edge, comes out with it.
Finds Mewis.
It'll be 1 minute of extra time, just the 1 minute from that injury to Liz Bogus. If we do get an update on her condition, we'll pass it along to you. The cross from O'Reilly got headed out of the box. Pathman will make the throw in quickly towards Sanderson. Sanderson with the right foot towards Schepfer. Schepfer on a race with Barnhart. Schepfer will win it. Plays it out to Washington. Washington with the right foot curling it towards Sanderson. Cleared out. In the 1 minute of extra time here. And the whistle blows. That'll end the first half of play. So the Breakers had the opportunities early. Actually had a goal wiped away as the play was blown dead out of bounds. They hit a post. And Nicole Barnhart had a very important save. Got a right hand on it to punch it up over the crossbar. On the other side, Alyssa Nair had a big diving stop and also got helped out by the crossbar on another one. So we are scoreless after the first half of play. The Breakers and FC Kansas City, the lone matchup for these two teams in Boston this season. 0-0 is your score. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Have highlights, stats, and of course the second half of action for you live from Boston.
All right, participants, are you ready? Set, go! It looks like we have a winner. Breakers fans, let's hear it for the winner of our Weekend Soccer Center Spot Challenge. Congratulations to our winner. They are going home with a $25 gift card to Weekend Soccer. The National Guard is proud to be the official armed forces partner with your Boston Breakers. Be on the lookout for our free grassroots soccer clinics in your area. Visit guardsoccer.com to find out how eligible high school age players, their parents, and coaches can learn of the many benefits offered by the Guard, including tuition assistance. That's guardsoccer.com. Visit nwslsoccer.com for all your updated league information, team standings, and more. That's nwslsoccer.com. Is your company concerned about the costs and regulations surrounding your medical insurance and 401k plan? Contact the CIP Group, a proud partner of the Boston Breakers, and let their team of advisors help you navigate the regulatory environment and maximize your employee benefit dollars. Visit www.askcip.com. Fans, be sure to follow @Nike Soccer on Twitter or visit NikeSoccer.com for all the latest news and information on Nike Soccer products. A small incision makes a huge difference. At Stewart Center for Advanced Cardiac Surgery in St. Elizabeth's, their team of expert surgeons offers the broadest array of conventional and minimally invasive cardiac surgery options. Visit stewart.org/cardiac or call 617-789-2045. Stewart Health, the title sponsor of the Boston Breakers. The University Sports Complex, a partner of the Boston Breakers, is the largest sports facility in all of New England. The university is home to various sports camps, fitness classes, adult sports leagues, youth sports leagues, birthday parties, and more. Visit www.theuhanover.com for more information. Aflac is a proud partner of the Boston Breakers and an extra measure of financial protection. Major Medical pays the doctors and hospitals, but when you're sick, Aflac pays cash benefits directly to you and helps you and your family with daily expenses. You can use an Aflac benefits for things like groceries or rent. It is totally up to you. And when you have an Aflac policy, it's yours. You own it. Even if you change jobs or retire, you can take your Aflac policy with you. For more information, visit aflac.com. Cat Sports Performance Center is the official performance training provider of the Boston Breakers. Visit catsports.com for location information or to set up a free trial training session. CATS is where the athletes and the Breakers train. TCG is a proud sponsor and the official IT services provider of your Boston Breakers. As a leading New England IT services provider and an active member of the community, TCG is very happy to support the Breakers every season. Check us out at tcgns.com or call 866-TCG-NETW for outstanding service and support. Bertucci's is a proud partner and sponsor of your Boston Breakers. Be sure to visit Bertucci's Alewife Station after the game tonight at 5 Cambridge Park Drive. Present your Breakers ticket, and with the purchase of any specialty pizza, you can receive one large, one-topping pizza for free. We Got Soccer is proud to partner with the Boston Breakers for their 2014 campaign. We Got Soccer is the nation's largest soccer specialty store and is your source for all your soccer needs. Visit our We Got Soccer flagship retail store in Foxborough or shop us online for the greatest selection of soccer gear and apparel. You live it, you love it, you play it. We Got Soccer has it. Visit us at wegotsoccer.com. St. Elizabeth's Medical Center.
Boston Breakers Soccer is brought to you by Stewart Health, the title sponsor of the Boston Breakers. Visit stewart.org for more information. By Cat Sports Performance Center, the official performance training provider of the Breakers. Visit catsports.com for more info. By TCG Network Services, the official IT service provider of the Breakers. Check out tcgns.com for more. By Bertucci's, a proud partner and the official restaurant of the Boston Breakers. By We Got Soccer, the nation's largest soccer specialty store. Visit wegotsoccer.com for more info. By the University Sports Complex, the largest sports facility in all of New England. Visit uhanover.com for more info. By Minuteman Health, a health insurance company governed by you. Learn how to enroll at minutemanhealth.org. By the CIP Group, visit www.askcip.com. And by Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts. Visit rocklandtrust.com for more info. The NWSL is brought to you by the National Guard, by Nike, and by the U.S. Soccer Foundation. The broadcast of this match is authorized by the Boston Breakers. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description without the express written permission of the club is strictly prohibited. Tonight's match was produced by Turbo Sports Group, the official video streaming production company of the Breakers. Welcome back to Harvard Stadium. Alongside Catherine Donnelly, I'm Scott Sudikoff. No score after the first half of play. The Breakers and FC Kansas City. As you see the stats from the first half of play, Alyssa Nair with 2 saves for the Breakers, 1 big save from Nicole Barnhart for FC Kansas City. See the corner kicks in the favor of FCKC, but each side had a couple of strong opportunities in the first half of play. Here's that big save by Nicole Barnhart, and she had to redirect one up over the crossbar. Here's a goal that was actually wiped away as that ball was out of bounds along the end line for Kat Whitehill. You see Julie King thought she had the goal, and it got wiped away and stayed 0-0 at the time. Then the FCKC side of the opportunities here, a diving save by Alyssa Nair. And then off of a corner kick, Frances Silva, the header there hitting the crossbar. That would have been a terrific goal for her, but the crossbar helps out the Breakers and keeps the ball out of the goal and keeps it a 0-0 game through 45 minutes of play. Breakers in the midst of a 5-game homestand, so far 0-2 on it, taking on Kansas City today. And they'll be back in action Wednesday against Portland. Don't miss our next broadcast as the Breakers play host to the defending NWSL champion Portland Thorns FC this coming Wednesday, May the 28th. It'll be at 7 p.m. and you'll be able to watch it live right here on the NWSL YouTube channel. That's coming up next for Portland, or excuse me, for Boston. They take on Portland, but still right now, 45 more minutes to play in this one against FC Kansas City. And the Breakers with a couple strong offensive chances as well. Another big save by Alyssa Nair, something we've seen all season long. And they're just trying to trying to get a flow. A lot of changes in the lineup as the weeks have gone on, and trying to find the right combination and come away with their second victory of the season.
Boston's holding their own against a tough FCKC team. So both teams with some chances. I think Kansas City with the advantage in possession, but Boston's definitely had some dangerous chances. And like I said, Kansas City's been solid on D. They're looking for their third shutout on the season. But the Breakers have never lost at home to Kansas City, so they'll try and keep that streak alive tonight. We'll see if they can.
You mentioned the 2 clean sheets thus far for Nicole Barnhart this year. Breakers looking, Alyssa Nair looking for her first one of the year.
Yep.
Breakers, both teams have allowed 16 goals on the season. FC Kansas City is even, though, 16 goals scored, 16 goals allowed. Meanwhile, the Breakers, though, 16 goals allowed, but they are down at -9. Only the 7 goals scored so far on the year. The team leader, Heather O'Reilly, with 2, along with Leanne Sanderson, who also has 2. And single goals from Courtney Jones, Julie King, Joanna Lohman. So the Breakers still looking for the combination offensively. We spotlighted Alyssa Nair in the open, and 10 saves last week against Chicago, 3 so far today. We made that 2 so far today. And a league-leading 34 saves right now, the updated total. FC Kansas City made 1 substitution during that first half. Liz Bogus left the game with an injury. We do not have an update on her status. We saw Frances Silva come in for her. And we'll try to see if there have been any changes at halftime for either side. Doesn't look like there have been any for the Breakers as we eye the players down on the field. As you see Sanderson and Schepfer sharing a laugh before this one gets back underway. The whistle sounds and the second half has started at Harvard Stadium. No score. FC Kansas City and the Boston Breakers alongside former Breaker Catherine Donnelly. I'm Scott Sudikoff. We thank you for tuning in on a Memorial Day weekend on your Sunday night.
A pretty good crowd here tonight at Harvard Stadium too on Memorial Day weekend.
No school tomorrow morning for the kids, so that helps out on a Sunday night game.
Definitely.
As we head towards Summers, that's a long-range shot there from Holiday. Not much danger for the Breakers. Listen there with the 2 first-half saves. The 26-year-old keeper from Stratford, Connecticut, played collegiately at Penn State. O'Reilly against Timrack. Gets it ahead for Schepfer. Now Sanderson with Mewis on the race to the top of the box, but Barnhart there to grab it. Barnhart, the 31-year-old keeper from Pottstown, Pennsylvania, played at Stanford. Looking for maybe her 3rd clean sheet of the season.
Last year she only had a .95 goals against average, so less than 1 goal a game last year.
So she's seen her goals against average go balloon to 1.6. Sarcasm in the voice there. I hope it was picked up. She's made 29 saves on the year on 45 shots on goal against her. Nair will punt it away.
Nice long punt there.
Pathman to Mewis. Pathman being chased by Silva will play it back for Whitehill. Buskowski and Lohman going after it. Now on the far side, Timrack against Washington. And the Breakers will get the throw in. Just underway in the second half, no score.
there's a ball on the field on the far side, and they just got to kick it off. There we go.
Sometimes those ball kids get a little mixed up. Two of them will throw a ball in, and then you get one just sitting there waiting. It's now FC Kansas City will have the throw in. Leanne Robinson plays it in. Sheffer gets it back for the Breakers to Washington, and then her pass to O'Reilly, though, slides out of bounds. Breakers trying to keep it on this end of the field. Washington.
Nice little nutmeg by Washington there.
Keeps it alive. Lohman with Silva coming down on her, takes it away, and Rodriguez turns and taps it to Richmond. Now back to Silva. Buskowski. And now played through. It's Matthias.
Nice chance for Kansas City there.
Nair comes off the line, able to grab it before Merritt Matthias got there first. Nair not too happy with her kick there as it comes out of bounds to the near side for an FCKC throw-in. Put in by Matthias. Here's Becky Sauerbrunn. We'll switch sides with it. Breakers with the pressure, forcing it to go back to Barnhart. Now along the sideline, the Breakers get the throw in. Nikki Washington quickly into Sanderson. Sanderson against Robinson. Tapped out by Robinson. Breakers throw it. And that goes again off of Kansas City through the legs of O'Reilly, so it stays with Boston. In the 51st minute, no score. And there's Timrak who taps it out. Thrown into the box. Doesn't get to Sanderson. Robinson trying to kick it out. Stayed in momentarily. Lohman comes down with it. Lohman to Shepfer. Back to Lohman. The shot deflected. Going wide of the post, diving after it, Barnhart.
Nice little 1-2 there with Shepard. Create some offense for the Breakers here.
Sanderson was sending it out wide. Mewis was cutting in.
And Mewis, as we know, is a Boston girl through and through. She went to Boston College where she graduated, and she's from a suburb of Boston. So she's happy to be back. It was her third game after an injury.
Sanderson turns and fires that one to the right of the goal. And Mewis last year playing with Kansas City.
Yep.
Was then sent to Seattle and then sent to Boston in the Sidney LaRue trade. You have LaRue going back to where she's from, the Northwest. And you have Mewis coming back home to Boston as well. Served forward. Holiday's pass got knocked away by Lohman. Breakers trying to go forward on the counterattack. Mewis gets fouled, and a rare whistle tonight.
Looks like Whitehill and Lohman are on the free kick here.
Whitehill quickly.
Yep.
We'll get it to Pathman. Now to Lohman. Pathman and Lohman going back and forth with it. Now back for Whitehill. Sends it along to King. King angling towards the sideline. Right-footed pass up the seam. Trying to let Shepard chase it down. Goes out of bounds for a Kansas City throw-in. That's out. So the Breakers will take the throw in. Move it back up the field here.
Kansas City just keeping possession now. They're going to switch sides.
Sauerbrunn will take the space given to her. Becky Sauerbrunn will play it out wide to that far side. Pass blocked down. Timorak trying to get it through Washington.
Nice patience by Washington on that.
Breakers will have the throw in. 55th minute of play. 0-0.
I know we said Kansas City's looking for their third shutout. The Breakers are looking for their first on the season, and I think so far they've been doing a pretty good job of shutting down Rodriguez and Holiday and just containing them.
Kansas City whistled offside.
Whitehill's on this free kick now.
Whitehill, also an assistant coach now for the Breakers, and remember was the interim head coach for the final month of the year last season. Goalie coach Ashley Phillips, who of course suited up for the Breakers last year. Head coach Tom Durkin in his first season, hired back in September. Trying to find the right combination for the Breakers and try to build a winning streak. Try to get that first one, or that second win first, though. And as Kansas City trying to set something up. Silva against Pathman. And that was off of Silva, so the goal kick for Nair. The 10 saves from Nair against Chicago was a season high. She had 7 in the opener against Seattle.
It's a handball there, I think.
Whistle down, so Kansas City will take it. Lauren Holiday, 3 goals, 3 assists this year. Led the league in both goals and assists last season. Serves it into the box, but too far.
Easy save for Nair there.
Nair quickly gets it away. Comes right down to Sanderson. Sanderson against Phillips. It was deflected off of Kansas City, so the Boston throw-in. O'Reilly for Sanderson. Lofted forward, looking for Schepfer. Now Silva for Kansas City. Gets the one-touch pass back. Little off target, but able to track it down. Picking it up here on the near side, Merritt Mathias. Back for Holiday. Good battle there. Rodriguez was trying to turn to goal for Kansas City. Things have been quiet so far in the first 12-plus minutes of the second half. Similar to how the game started in the first half. O'Reilly bounces it into the box.
Nice play by Phillips there to head it back to the goalie so she can pick it up.
Holiday trying to get it to Richmond. Bad pass. Sanderson has Mewis heading down the middle. To her left is Shepfer. Pass to Shepfer a little too far out in front. We'll track it down at the end line and we'll cross it out of bounds.
Can't quite wrap her left foot around that.
Breakers had the making of a strong chance, but the pass for Shepfer just had a little too much on it, and she couldn't get to it until the end line, and then obviously not much of an angle left. O'Reilly will serve it in. Trying to keep the pressure on Kansas City is Barnhart.
Starting to get a little chillier now.
Yeah, a little bit, little chilly,
Maybe
little
that's just
wind.
me.
Sun has gone down. Still much better than what it's been at
I'll
certain
take it.
times already this season.
Yep.
I'm sure the players on the field prefer this than 80 to 90 degree heat.
Which it's supposed to be in Boston tomorrow. So.
Well, the perfect day for it to be. Lohman for Shepfer. Now O'Reilly. O'Reilly serves it in, and Mewis takes it on the edge. Back to Lohman. Knocked out by Kansas City. Boston throw-in. Mewis quickly into Pathman. Pathman against Silva. Left foot to Mewis. Mewis trying to traverse through a couple of different Kansas City players and lost control of it and lost her footing as well. Buzzkowski's pass. Sanderson almost tracked it down first. Now Buzzkowski moves forward with it. Timrak kept it alive. Back to Buzzkowski. Rodriguez turns to her right. Plays it off for Silva. Silva's cross. Whitehill got in the way of it. Silva tried to put it back in there. Holiday. Served in. Pathman, the header out. Still in there for Kansas City. Still in a good opportunity. Pathman trying to clear it out. She's able to. Comes down to Phillips with O'Reilly tracking her down. Washington able to step in front, take it over. Washington with O'Reilly and Sanderson forward, but that pass taken by Sauerbrunn. 61 minutes in with no score. Timrak to Silva. And then Rodriguez going one-on-one against Whitehill. Whitehill knocked it away momentarily. Rodriguez looking for the cross, and Whitehill will
Nice slide by Whitehill there.
knock it out there. Kansas City, though, will have the corner kick. Good matchup, Whitehill versus Rodriguez.
Sometimes you just got to slide to get a stop there.
So we'll see what Kansas City can do off this corner kick, the fourth they've had tonight. See Rodriguez right there in front of Nair.
And this will be a left-footed corner kick, so an in-swinger.
Here it comes. Towards Rodriguez at the top, and it's tapped in. The goal by the defender, Nikki Phillips. At that far post, the ball just sat there, and she tapped it home. 1-0 Kansas City. First goal of the season for the 26-year-old Nikki Phillips. In the 62nd minute, FC Kansas City on the board. Off the corner kick. So the Breakers once again will have to play from behind. Sanderson. Trying to get it to Shepfer. Taken back by Kansas City. Now here's Phillips. Merritt Mathias. Back to Phillips, who lofts it ahead. Comes down to Whitehill. Mewis angles it towards Sanderson. And now a race for the ball. There to get it, Buzzkowski gives it to Silva. Silva serves it in, headed out. And O'Reilly there for Boston. O'Reilly to Sanderson. Back out wide. Nikki Phillips' goal scored unassisted. Coming off the corner kick, though, from Lauren Holiday. So we take another look at it. It went off Whitehill and then Grove and then sat there for Nikki Phillips. So could say a bad bounce for Boston, but Kansas City, they worked hard to get that corner kick. Rodriguez was the one to help gain it. The Breakers looking for the equalizer here. The left-footed shot goes wide.
Phillips is a University of Virginia grad, and most recently she's been called up to play with the Poland women's national team.
She scores her first goal of the season to give FC Kansas City the 1-0 lead.
For those of you just tuning in, the Breakers scored a similar goal in the first half off of a corner kick, but it was called back because it was actually out of bounds and then came back in. So they're probably wishing they had that goal back right now. But
right along the end line, Cal Whitehill just couldn't keep it in. Julie King ended up heading it in for a goal that looked like it'd be a goal, but immediately waved off. Breakers have also hit a post. Nicole Barnhart has made one spectacular save. Alyssa Nair has been helped out by a crossbar and has made a very good save herself, but the bounce there for FC Kansas City left it right there for Nikki Phillips to tap it in off the corner kick. In the 62nd minute, unassisted goal. Holiday gets it out wide. Merritt Mathias going against Pathman. Pathman slides in. Thought maybe it was a double deflection, but it's off of Boston. So another corner kick, same spot from just a few moments ago that set up the goal. Let's see what FCKC decides to do on this one. Looks like it's Rodriguez right there in front of Nair again at the goal line. The left foot to the far post. King got the header on it to get it out. Schepfer will just play it off out of bounds and let FC Kansas City have the throw in there. Zero-zero at halftime. In the first half, Alyssa Nair had 2 saves. Nicole Barnhart had 1. FC Kansas City scoring in the 62nd minute. Nikki Phillips for this 1-0 lead, 67 minutes in now. Mewis couldn't control it. Comes down to Lauren Holiday, trying to get it through. That would have been a dangerous opportunity as Rodriguez is streaking forward. Breakers have yet to make a substitution in this one. Kansas City made one early as Liz Bogus left with an injury. And the feet get tangled up there. Schepfer, slow to get up, wincing a bit, reaching towards that right ankle. Foul called on Kansas City. It's been a pretty much a foul-free game, not completely, but low numbers. No cards yet. Breakers will have the free kick in the 68th minute. See Shepfer going down hard, as well as Nikki Phillips.
Whitehill and Sanderson on the free kick here.
Sanderson goes by, let Whitehill take it, deflected into the box. O'Reilly shot and covering up Barnhart.
She does a good job not giving up a rebound there because, like I said, King was right there to put it away if she did.
That's exactly what King was hoping for, that brief loose ball, maybe tap it in. But Barnhart does what she has to do, covers things up. So since FCKC's goal, the Breakers have had a couple of chances.
I've definitely seen an improvement in their play tonight from the past few games. Pretty much all around, offensively and defensively.
Jenna Richmond for Holiday. Holiday with the through ball, and along the sideline, Timrak keeps it in. Tries to get by King. Timrak with a right-footed cross, blocked down by Washington. And now Washington will clear it out. Headed back forward by Kansas City, though. Merritt Mathias. Buzzkowski. Holiday. Now Phillips, the goal scorer. Plays it along for Timrak. Timrak against Washington. And connects with Buzzkowski. Coming up for it, Mathias taps it into the box, looking for Silva. Good read by Whitehill. O'Reilly able to control it there.
Here comes her speed.
Sanderson had it knocked away by Phillips. Sanderson, though, first to reach it against Leanne Robinson. Deflected away. Sanderson gets it back. Shepfer trying to turn there. '71st minute. Sauerbrunn plays it back for Barnhart. There is an FC Kansas City substitution waiting. Same for the Breakers as well. So each side will have a sub at the next opportunity. Nair coming well out of the box to play this one. Gets it along to King. Sanderson, one touch to Washington. Catches up to it, but not enough on the pass to get it through to Shepfer. Melissa Henderson waiting to come in for FC Kansas City. And waiting to come in for Boston, Jasmine Reeves, who will be playing in her third consecutive game since officially joining the team from Virginia Tech. Timrak takes the space given to her. Makes the pass out to Leanne Robinson and trying to send it in there, but off target. Easy catch for Nair. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Instead of rushing it now, lets things settle down. As the substitutes wait for both sides right now. Henderson for FCKC, Reeves for Boston. We're in the 73rd minute, 1-0 Kansas City. Scott Sudikoff and Catherine Donnelly here with you from Harvard Stadium in Boston. Breakers right now 1-3-0 at home in the midst of a 5-game homestand that they're 0-2 on. Trying to find a victory in the middle game of the 5. Maybe start a streak. Sanderson couldn't control the pass as Barnhart comes sliding out. Breakers lost 4-1 to Chicago last Sunday, and a couple days prior to that, 3-1 to Chicago. FCKC coming off of 2 straight draws, 1-1 at home versus Seattle on Wednesday, and 2-2 last weekend at home against Houston. Seattle, of course, still atop the league standings, now 7-0-1, as Kansas City snapped that 7-game win streak to begin the year. Such a turnaround for Seattle. Was the opposite last year. They were winless, or they were at the bottom of the standings for most of the season. They picked it up late in the year. Obviously with a improved roster, picking up some players in the offseason. Molly Pathman back to Joanna Lohman. And off target looking for O'Reilly, as Leanne Robinson will track it down for KC. Almost 74 minutes in. O'Reilly with the pressure against Robinson, not making it easy. And Lohman can't keep it in. And finally, the substitutes for both sides will come into the game. So for Kansas City, see Melissa Henderson coming in, and out goes Erica Timrack. And for the Breakers, Jasmine Reeves in, and Katie Schepfer. Excuse me, Ashley Grove will come out. I think they had that number reversed.
It happened to me last game.
21 coming out, not 12. So Grove out, Schepfer stays on. Jasmine Reeves is in. We see her play at the top when she's been on the field. Looking for offensive spark, of course, down 1-0 in the 75th minute. This is Merritt Mathias. Mathias curling it towards the top of the box. Washington gets it to Whitehill.
Of course, Henderson coming in. She was a former Breaker herself. She played her first year pro with Boston after graduating from Notre Dame, where she obviously had a lot of success. She was a first runner-up for the Herman Trophy. She was nominated for an ESPY award while she was there, and she was in the top 10 in her school history in 8 different categories for scoring at Notre Dame. So,
Garland, Texas native, 23 years old, now playing in her 4th game of the season. O'Reilly looking for something. Here's Jasmine Reeves against Phillips. Got by her, but field not big enough. Loses it out of bounds. Goal kick for Barnhart. Breakers in Kansas City will play again June 7th at Kansas City. And again on August 6th. This is the lone matchup of the 3 in Boston. Breakers a very home-heavy schedule to begin the year. Mentioned 5 in a row right now at home, but 7 of 9. And after the Breakers play Seattle on June 19th here at the stadium, they will not be back home until August 3rd. It'll be 7 straight road games, as that is sent up high over the goal. And goal kick again for Barnhart. So it is imperative that the Breakers find their stride with all these home games, because you get to that, they get to that stretch of 7 consecutive on the road, and you are at this point already fighting an uphill battle. If you dig yourself way too big of a hole at that point, you might not ever have a chance to climb out of it. Pathman forces the turnover.
Nice
Molly
tackle.
Pathman, and going to get the pass through. Whitehill serves it in towards Sanderson, and Barnhart comes out, collides with her own player, Lauren Holiday. Barnhart able to grab it, maybe at the expense of Lauren Holiday.
Nice left-footed cross there by Whitehill.
Ball comes down, and Alyssa Henderson had 2 hands in the back of Washington.
She's a feisty player, that's for sure.
Take a look at this play by Barnhart with a hard tackle of her own teammate Holiday, but did what she had to do, grab the ball, keep it away from Leanne Sanderson, protecting a 1-goal lead. Bounces by Reeves, but Sanderson there losing her balance. And
flag goes up. I think that was a foul. Boston will have a free kick now.
They'll call the foul there. Sanderson lost her balance due to a little extra contact.
So Sanderson will be taking this free kick, and Whitehill's actually in the box.
So good spot here for the Breakers. Serve one into the box. A lot of movement right now. Sanderson with the right foot. And Whitehill couldn't get ahead on it. Comes down to Shep for a right-footed shot and goes wide.
And like I've been saying, Shefford has a dangerous kick. You know, anywhere from 20 to 30 yards out, she still has a rocket. So she's dangerous to get those one-touch shots off.
Didn't really have a space or an angle to get off one of those rockets, though. Had to try to put a little touch on it to that far post. Sanderson able to take the goal kick and head it towards Jasmine Reeves. Back down to Sanderson. Sanderson against Buzzkowski. Holiday trying to turn forward. Sends it away. And Whitehill almost let it bounce there for Rodriguez. "80 minutes have gone by. Kansas City scored in the 62nd minute. It was Nikki Phillips, unassisted off a corner kick. A ball that deflected off of a couple of Breakers defenders and then sat there for Phillips to tap in. You could say right place, right time, but Kansas City worked their way towards that opportunity. A little bit of bad bounce luck for the Breakers as that one is sent high and wide. Nicole Barnhart has made a couple of big saves in goal today. It's been helped out by a post. Alyssa Nair, say the same for her. A couple of nice saves and helped out by a crossbar in the first half of play. It was 0-0 at halftime. Kansas City has used 2 of their substitutions. Boston 1.
It wouldn't surprise me if they used their third one after 9 games in a row without a break.
That is on sides, and the cross and the tap in by Rodriguez, scoring from Buzzkowski, and it's 2-0 Kansas City.
I was just going to say that you could even give Kansas City the benefit of being fatigued after 9 games without a bye week, but they definitely don't look fatigued, and they put away their second goal of the game to go up 2-0 there.
Kansas City trying to get back to an even record. A win today, they'd be 4-4-3. And 15 points would jump them ahead of Portland in the standings for the time being. And now a 2-goal lead in the 82nd minute. Breakers lost by 3 goals last Sunday against Chicago, 2 goals the prior game. Everything else has been a 1-goal game, including the victory over Sky Blue 3-2. Everything else except for the opener at Seattle, which was also a 3-0 defeat. The 83rd minute, and the Breakers now down by 2. Throw-in coming on the far side for Boston. Bounced in for Reeves. O'Reilly back in, headed out. Stepping up Lohman. Gives it up for Whitehill from long range.
That's not a bad idea by Whitehill either to take those long-range shots right now. Just take a chance on it, see if they can get a rebound, see if they can get anything going in the offense.
Schepfer had it taken away by Sauerbrunn. Rodriguez scored her 8th goal just a couple of minutes ago. Now the league leader in goals, assisted by Jen Buskowski. Her 3rd assist of the season.
FC Kansas City goal scoring the second minute by number 8, Amy Rodriguez. Assisted by number 6, Jen Buskowski. That's an FC Kansas City goal for Rodriguez. Assisted by Buskowski in the 82nd minute.
Whitehill can't get the pass through. Bounces out of midfield. It'll be a throw-in as you take a look at the goal. Buskowski had a step on Pathman. And nice pass to the edge of the 6, right at the top. And Rodriguez taps it by Nair. Eighth goal again for Rodriguez. And the 3rd assist for Buskowski this season. Goals in the 62nd and 82nd minute of this game for Kansas City. Robinson gets it through for Holiday against Whitehill. Will turn it back out. And Kansas City, of course, willing to now run a lot of time off the clock and limit Boston's chances. Sitting pretty with a 2-goal lead. Sauerbrunn trying to get away from Reeves. Makes the pass to Buskowski. Kansas City just trying to play keep away right now. Robinson. Rodriguez with the left foot goes by Silva, looking for Matthias, and finally taken away by the Breakers.
Nice job tracking by O'Reilly there.
Less than 5 minutes left to play in the regulation time. O'Reilly makes the turn to her sideline to the sideline there, but couldn't keep control of it. 2,662 in attendance at tonight's game.
It's the most so far this season for the Breakers.
Memorial Day weekend, and crowds getting bigger and bigger as we head towards summer and once the kids get out of school. And sometimes tough, especially this coming Wednesday night, have a game. And these games don't go that late, though. 9 o'clock's not too bad. I guess it depends what grade you're in.
It's late for me.
Well, you have a day job. Before you come here, you're working all day already for the professional lacrosse team that plays in this stadium as well, the Boston Cannons.
That's right.
So a former professional soccer player now works for a professional lacrosse team and a professional soccer team as well, still. 87th minute. See the score, 2-0 Kansas City. Phillips and Rodriguez, the goal scorers. A win today would make FCKC 4-4-3 on the year. It would snap a 3-game winless streak. They've had 2 straight ties. Served in. Henderson couldn't get a shot off as Nair double punches it out. And King will tee off on it, get it off to midfield. Mewis. Schepfer trying to track it back down. Stays with it. Holiday able to jog forward.
Kansas City's still trying to create some offense, even in the last few minutes with a 2-0 lead.
Silva sent it out of bounds. It'll be a far side throw in for the Breakers, 88 minutes in. O'Reilly settles it down. Trying to get one off with her left foot. Got blocked down. Sauerbrunn gets it out of the box. Pathman against Silva. Has to go back to Lohman. Washington comes into your screen. Sends it in, and Reeves got a head on it going against Barnhart. It'll be a goal kick.
About to head into the last minute of regulation before stoppage time.
'90th minute, Sanderson back to Washington. Tap back to Sanderson, and now Schepfer. Comes to Mewis. Mewis turning away from Rodriguez. Now Mewis. Her pass deflected. Goes back after it, and Kansas City takes control and look to play the game of keep away yet again with not much time left. And a whistle and a foul goes on Boston. Substitution for Kansas City as we have played our 90 minutes of regulation time.
Williams is coming in. Number 16.
Nia Williams, 22-year-old from Roland Park, Kansas. Francis Silva comes out. She came in early in the first half when Liz Bogus had to leave with an injury. Just 1 minute of stoppage time. Oh, sorry, we don't have the official stoppage time yet. Breakers will be hoping for a little bit extra, of course, down by 2. Mewis. Whitehill, left foot, serving it to the top. The header angled towards Barnhart, bounced around, but nobody there for Boston. And the final whistle is blown. And FC Kansas City will come away with a 2-0 victory over Boston tonight. Goals in the 62nd minute by Nikki Phillips and the 82nd minute by Amy Rodriguez. And FC Kansas City improves to 4-4-3 on the year, and Boston falls to 1-6-0. So the tough starts of the season for the Breakers continues, and now 1-4-0 at home. 0-0 at halftime. But as we saw throughout the game, notice the Breakers, if you look for the positives, playing a bit better than they did in those 2 back-to-back losses against Chicago. Definitely. Not as many defensive breakdowns, and the goals that FC Kansas City scored, they really worked for, especially that first one. Yeah,
Kansas City is one of the tougher teams in the league, and I think Boston did a good job staying with them, especially obviously in the first half, coming into a 0-0 tie, and then giving up a corner kick in the second half, corner kick goal. Again, Boston thought they had one in the first half that got called back. This one stings, though, because, like you said, there were definitely some improvements on offensive and defensive sides for Boston. So
it's one of those things.
Another tough one, yeah.
You have to look, try to find a positive out of these games for the Breakers if they now lost 4 games in a row. And at 1-6 overall on the season, FC Kansas City snaps the 3-game winless streak, snaps the streak of 2 consecutive ties. They pick up the 4th win of the season. And again, the goals both coming in the second half of play, 62nd minute. It was Nikki Phillips, her first of the season, 82nd minute. Amy Rodriguez scored her league-high 8th. Here's that goal by Nikki Phillips, and it bounced around there off of Whitehill and Grove, and Phillips there benefits and able to tap it in. That made it 1-0 in the 62nd minute. And in the 82nd minute, Buzzkowski finds Rodriguez for the tap-in by Alyssa Nair, did all she could. And FCKC will come away with the 2-0 victory in Boston tonight. So that'll just about wrap things up for tonight's broadcast. FC Kansas City with the victory goes to 4-4-3, now 15 points on the season, and for the time being they leapfrog Portland into 3rd place in the NWSL standings. Meanwhile, the Breakers fall to 1-6-0, 1-4-0 at home. They have, unfortunately for their fans and the team itself, have lost 4 consecutive games, and we'll continue this 5-game homestand this coming Wednesday, May the 28th, a 7 o'clock kickoff against Portland before wrapping up the homestand a week from today against Washington at 6:30. Again, tonight's final score, FC Kansas City 2 and Boston 0. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Catherine Donnelly, I'm Scott Sudikoff saying so long from Harvard Stadium in Boston. Thanks for tuning in to NWSL Soccer.